The Curious Cushion, written by Christine E. Bradley, is one of the stories which was charmingly illustrated by Mabel Lucie Attwell. It was in the Storytime Tales book originally published in 1959, but reprinted in Britain by Dean and Son Limited in 1967. The copyright is now owned by Lucie Attwell Limited and permission has been obtained for this recording. Mabel Lucie Attwell was a much-loved children's illustrator. Please visit the website mabellucieattwell.com if you would like to see more. I hope you enjoy my narration. Please give the video a like and subscribe to my channel. Matilda Bunny had been very poorly. She was all over aches and pains and was really very uncomfortable indeed. And then, just as she was feeling most miserable, in came her friend Jemima. She was carrying a little cushion. "Oh, Matilda dear," said Jemima Bunny, "I've brought my little cushion to lend you. It isn't much to look at, but it's such a soft little cushion. I thought if you tucked it into the place where the pain is worst, it would help you to feel better." "Why, that is kind of you, Jemima," said Matilda. "I'm really very ill indeed today." Matilda found the little cushion a great comfort. It was, as Jemima had said, such a soft little cushion you could tuck it in just wherever you wanted it. And after a few days, Matilda felt very much better. "I mustn't keep Jemima's cushion," she said, "now that I am better, for she might want it herself. But I know what I'll do. Before I give it back to her, I'll take the cover off and wash it, for I have used it so much I'm afraid it's now rather dirty." So Matilda got her scissors and very carefully unpicked the stitches. But when she pulled the cover off, she discovered a curious thing. Underneath was another cover, much prettier than the first one. "Well," said Matilda, "well, so Jemima didn't want me to use that pretty cover in case I spoiled it, I suppose. So she put that dull old thing on top. To think that my best friend would treat me in such a way. I feel like returning it to her this very minute." But the cushion was so pretty, Matilda put it in the armchair in the sitting room instead. The next day, Jemima called to see how Matilda was getting on. But Matilda had seen her coming and didn't answer the door, so Jemima looked through the window. And there in the armchair was the pretty cushion. "Well, to be sure," said Jemima. "Matilda didn't tell me she had a cushion of her own, and a much prettier one than mine. And she let me lend her mine, and I might have been ill and wanted it myself. I never would have believed it of Matilda." So Matilda and Jemima were both very angry, and when they met in the town next day while they were doing their shopping, they both pretended to be looking the other way. But afterwards Jemima said to herself, "Why shouldn't I have my cushion back? Matilda has 2 cushions now, and I haven't one at all. She has no right to keep what doesn't belong to her. I shall go to her house and demand it." So off went Jemima to Matilda's house and knocked firmly on the door. This time Matilda didn't see her coming, so she did answer the door. "Please, may I have my cushion, Matilda?" said Jemima, in a very stiff kind of voice. "It's about time you returned it." "Certainly, Jemima," said Matilda, also in a very stiff kind of voice, and she went to fetch the cushion. "That isn't my cushion, Matilda," said Jemima. "It is your cushion, Jemima," said Matilda. "I very kindly took the cover off to wash it for you, as I had been using it, and underneath there was this cover. You thought it was too good for me, I suppose." "Oh, Matilda," cried Jemima, "I didn't know it was there. I had it for a present last Christmas, and I had never taken the cover off yet. I saw it through the window in your armchair, and I thought it was your cushion." "Oh, Jemima," said Matilda, crying tears of shame, "I thought you were so unkind not to let me have it with a pretty cover on." "Oh, Matilda," said Jemima, crying too, "I thought you were so greedy to keep my cushion when you had one of your own." By this time they were crying in each other's arms. At last Matilda said, "Never mind, I'll go and put the kettle on, and we'll forget it all in a nice cup of tea." Soon the kettle was boiling, and the tea was made, and as they sat drinking it and feeling much happier, they vowed they would never be so silly again.